All right, you guys ready?
Hell yeah.
All right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, I think I'm a boomer. I think I'm a zoomer. I think I'm a doomer. Damn, I'm like a zoomer. Okay. EWGWHITE coming with the heat.
I stay fooling with my bot, my tunes will make your speakers hot. Dance floor, hopscotch.
Welcome to the Grillcast, the only podcast in the world dedicated to radical centrism, of course. I am your host, Micah, and joining me is the Drunkman.
Hola, hola.
And I would also like to welcome back our regular left-wing correspondent, Andy, member of the band Tides of Technocracy. How's it going, man?
It's going great. So working on a new album, gonna get it out soon, and so yeah,
Sick.
check out Tides Technocracy.
Does
to you.
Does it slay?
It slays
bopping?
hard. It slays hard.
Does it fuck?
Does it does it slap?
Does it abuse your bass?
It slams. It slams, and it has melody in
Has
it.
a poignant message.
That
Has it got a
too,
poignant
yeah.
message to it.
Yeah, point message about.
Give us a little sneak preview.
So
what we're going to be attempting to decipher in terms of lyrics.
So the title is Threat of Three Fates, and it's about how the three fates controlling our world are actually government, corporations, and technology. So it's a critique of like everything from surveillance capitalism to
Basically
transhumanism.
Basically every 80s movie. Like,
Hold on a minute.
Yes,
criticism of
yeah,
every 80s movie.
Yeah,
Hold on a minute.
yeah, it's
So you're telling me that if I play this stuff on my speakers on the block, I'm gonna get some hoes that look like Grimes? Please send me a fucking copy. I'm begging you.
everyone
I
in
need to
the
get a taste
band.
of what Elon's tasting. Give me
Everyone in the band, all two of us have girlfriends.
All two.
So,
taste.
but I'm getting I'm getting the new drummer from Annihilator to do the stick. So
Annihilator.
that's cool because they're
That's
actually
fucking
pretty.
awesome.
They're a pretty big thrash band, so I'm excited about that.
All right. Well, I appreciate you sharing the content. We'll have a linkerino in the description for anybody who's interested in checking out the work.
Hell yeah! Cool.
But to get into today's subject matter, Hunter Biden is in the headlines again, unfortunately, following leaks of his personal data. These are leaks. Let me remind everybody here, okay. Once again, that Hunter, these leaks show that Hunter is just like you and me. Okay, he enjoys a little bit of crack now and again. Okay, and he keeps entirely too much explicit sexual material of himself on a computer. But you know, who amongst us does not suffer from these sins?
Did you just say Among Us, Micah?
Who among us
You're acting real sussy, and
does not
so is our boy Hunter.
does not suffer from these problems? I mean, I ask you, Andy, is this not something you are challenged with on a day-to-day basis?
I almost don't want to answer because I talk about like one of the like pretty much the first song on my new album, Lost Connection, does talk about how with society today we're starting to lose our connection to. I don't know how to explain it without sounding like a straight edge hippie, but like
it's okay. You can be a straight edge hippie, man.
It's I don't want to sound like a fascist either, but I like
it's okay.
calling everyone a degenerate.
You can sound like a fascist. This is a safe space.
So I guess my point is just that I do think that drug addiction and porn addiction are problems that we don't really know how to tackle as a society because
society
mentioned
a lot of these problems stem from I mean, I hate to blame capitalism for everything, but I mean, like, fuck, dude, it's like kind of hard.
How many minutes into?
Okay, but hey,
it's kind of hard
into
not
the podcast
to,
before the left wingers
capitalism. Trying so hard to not bring up that word, but
no, it's fine, bro.
I mean, I need a boogeyman. You know what I mean? You guys get a
is that your safe
boogeyman.
word?
Like you guys get
my boogeyman is anyone who
trans
doesn't grill.
people are your.
Trans people are not my boogeyman. Okay, they're my
Dude,
boogeyman.
I love trans people. Some of the tightest assholes I've ever fucked. Trans people. That's a quote.
But I
no,
mean,
no, that is the problem. It's like people either they either hate trans people or they like them too much.
They fetishize it.
like
Yeah,
they
the
like just
femboy worship.
we need to find a
and
middle
catboy
ground on this
watch
issue.
worship.
transgender porn all day and
why is there no middle ground between
always end up
hating trans
visiting
people
Thailand?
and
Well, the middle ground is
trans porn
located-
or going to Thailand?
It's
Like, why do you
located
like
somewhere on the
Thailand
grill.
so much? Oh, I just like the scenery.
Lady
Well,
boys, let's go.
Do you have any pictures of the scenery? No, don't go through my phone. Don't look at my Thailand
Dude,
Oh.
anyone
folder.
who's gone on vacation to Thailand has a comparable folder to Hunter Biden or worse, and I do not ever want to see it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, and that's the average American retiree, right? So
Babuma.
I I pulled an article from the most trusted Turkish news source I could find.
Fucking.
Hold on a sec. It's called the Daily Sabah. I guess that's how it's pronounced.
Inshallah, brother.
So there was a hack into the iCloud account of U.S. President Joe Biden's son, and it exposed a cache of inappropriate content, including the former's name,
Oh no.
Pedo Peter. Say,
If your son calls you that, you
Yeah.
know that you've done something wrong.
So
That's
yeah,
fucking
it's
wild.
claimed that Hunter Biden recorded his father on the phone by the name Pedo Peter, and let's give him a fair shake here. That could just be his Xbox gamer tag. It's a pretty decent one. I would use that as a gamer tag if it were available. It's
Hey,
pretty.
Micah, you know
yeah.
mine. Hate women. I'm post that in the description too.
Yeah, maybe. Actually, yeah. If it leads to you getting harassed, then yeah.
Based.
So yeah, Pedo Peter. That's okay. That's evidence or something.
He's a Peter file.
Meanwhile,
say.
Meanwhile, Secret Service said on Monday that they are aware of the hack, and at this time we are not in a position to make public comments on potential investigative actions. But I can assure you, the Secret Service, along with other federal law enforcement partners, are aware of the social media posts and claims referencing Mr. Biden. So
Sounds like a lot of cope from our trusted federal agencies.
I don't know. I don't really think they care.
Wait, what
That's the
did
thing.
they-
Like I don't really think they care.
Well, yeah, because they did.
I don't
the
think
same
they're
things as
worried.
him, you know,
I mean, nobody's that's what it boils down to. It's just another example.
So here's the thing: under surveillance capitalism and the surveillance state, more specifically, we're getting all of our data. We're getting all of our data leaked. So it's only fair that every once in a while, a president's son gets their data leaked, and
Yeah.
that is
you know,
the
it
most
happens to
base
us.
take
So
I've
equal
ever heard.
opportunity.
yeah,
That's like
I mean,
spot on, dude. You're
That
right.
and you
like-
know,
yeah.
as much as I think that it's a net negative, the whole like the system that we have and we see developing, kind of what you're referencing, I might call it something different, doesn't really matter, is that yeah, there's going to be instances like this where the surveillance state actually does service us, or people.
Right, especially when like hacktivists get in the mix and do things. It's like cyber vigilante justice or something.
Yeah, and I can appreciate it. Shouldn't have to be a thing, but it is a thing.
It's only fair, like you said. I mean, they opened up the lamp. The genie's out of the bottle, and now
Yep.
it's backfiring. And all of a sudden, it's not okay. We shouldn't be doing this. And it's
So
like, hey, you're the Patriot Act motherfuckers, not me, bro. I
Yeah,
didn't ask
yeah,
for it.
yeah. You
I
guys
didn't ask
wanted
for
this. You guys wanted this. Oh no, now you can't
What's
go
the
have
matter?
your sex tourism in Thailand, and you just can't fucking record it on your iPhone. That's that's like literally it.
Well, and it's wild, right? Because they said all those years ago, they said, well, you don't got to worry about it if you got nothing to hide. And now I'm like, oh, well, he's searching up 12-year-olds on X videos.
Oh
Now
yeah,
all of a
that's one
sudden
of the
it's not a
things that
problem?
one of the pieces of information that surfaced were some of his X video search history. One of which, yeah, I saw it was like it said something dash 12 years old. There was another one
What?
that said Mia
12 years old, man.
Mia Khalifa blows a fan or something like that. Then there was another one that was, yeah, like it. But I mean, again, again, what I say is that let he who would publicly publish his X video search history throw the first stone. I just.
Dude,
I can't respect it.
I realistically though, Micah, I'm a shameless bastard. You've seen the shit that I post publicly. That's not a big.
Yeah, but are you
ask.
posting your full
Do you want me to?
unedited
Do you
X
want?
video
Because
search
I
history?
will, dude. I will. If I have to be the guy who falls on his sword to make this point, I might. I might. You guys are well. You know what's funny is like
Metaphorical.
dude, guys. I'm
metaphorical.
vanilla anyway. I'm vanilla anyway. There won't be anything like super fucking weird. Like honestly, my history is probably
Okay,
a lot cleaner
but
than the average weeaboo.
It's like people holding hands.
Yeah, exactly. Holding hands. It's just a woman looking into the camera and saying, "You're good enough. You're good enough. You're good enough." I'm not ashamed.
Fuck. Oh my god. But yeah, I mean, have either of you? I'm sure, drunk men, and you've seen the fucking content from these leagues. Andy, I have. You probably haven't seen this shit, but I mean, it probably doesn't surprise you. I'm guessing.
I've seen I just saw a blurb about the sensory deprivation tank. If that's
That
what,
was based though.
I didn't
like,
see anything about X videos.
disregarding all the
What's
more
that?
heinous content. He was in a sensory deprivation tank, Micah, and he was
Oh.
jerking his meat and smoking meth. I think it's like that's based. If he had done,
They should
like,
put one of those in
yeah,
every
yeah.
Amazon warehouse.
fact, the shit that I, yeah, if you're gonna have a wagey cage, you might as well be able to jerk your meat in it. You know what I mean? That's fair. That's a fair. But yeah, no, disregarding the
Meth and
heinous
jerk
shit, that's
cages.
based. That's based at least. You can't look me dead in my eyes and tell me that like
Base.
that's even more based than Joe Rogan, because Joe Rogan just like jerks off to the image of himself mentally when he's in a sensory deprivation tank. But you know that Hunter Biden's like thinking of that sweet
What?
fucking Secret Service cooch.
What comparison are you making? Yeah, Hunter Biden in a Hunter Biden
He's
in
cooler.
a tank is more base than Joe Rogan's sensory deprivation tank.
Yes, because like I said, Joe Rogan, he's
Like,
not
what the
doing
fuck
anything.
are you talking about?
He's not getting in touch with like his more primal self, and that's the guy he is. He's like return to monkey, right? Like ooga booga, I'm gorilla man. But Hunter Biden's out here actually being like the ape man. Like he is living his best life. Like,
Oh yeah, Hunter
it's
Biden is peak.
he
Hunter
is
Biden
he is peak physical performance. He is an epigenetic fucking prodigy. That man is just he's fucking on all cylinders, and I gotta respect it where it's due.
You know, I when I heard about this, I made a prediction to myself that as soon as I looked at the polls, that the Democrats would be up, and sure enough, they are.
That's the Hunter effect, baby.
It is the Hunter effect. It
Hunter
it works
magic.
every time. It won Biden the presidency. The sympathy, the outpouring of sympathy from the average American, the average centrist, for this
No,
poor,
you're right.
for this poor 50-year-old kid. You know, this poor 50-year-old kid who got,
Right.
who got himself into a little trouble. Okay, had some substance abuse issues. Okay, maybe didn't check a couple IDs. Not really his fault. More so the parents' fault for not making sure their kids have an ID that grown men can then check and verify, and things like that. It's so yeah, there are a few problems, but by and by, I think he's reflective of the majority.
That is, you brought up something there though that I had been like pondering. I'd been meditating on for a while, and I thought it was. I've been meditating. I've been deep diving into the lore for this, but obviously it sucks to even remember or talk about the Trump presidency. But when it comes to like media related shit, I can't help but think about it every time a story like this breaks, because they were having to like fake shit like the PP tapes and shit like that.
The
It's
PP
always
tapes.
You don't remember that the Steele dossier? This guy
Yeah,
basically,
yeah.
he
I
asserted
get it.
that Trump got pissed on by
I
Russian
mean-
prostitutes, and they made that up, and it was never verified.
Well,
it was
their
debunked.
problem was they were making up shit when they didn't even have to.
They didn't have to, yeah.
No, they
There are
didn't have
porn
to.
stars coming out saying like,
Trump
yeah,
gave me.
Trump-
Trump
He
gave
paid me
me
good money.
and there
$300,000.
there were
Fuck.
12 and 15-year-old girls saying, yeah, Trump tied me to a bed and raped me, and it's all on legal record, and they're not bringing that shit up. That's why I have a hard time believing that
Because if they did that, you know what would happen? Everyone else in DC who does it would be brought up on charges. And guess what? They all
exactly
fuck kids and-
exactly. So I mean, it's all just smoke and
Oh,
mirrors. Like this whole Russiagate
full Alex
thing.
Jones
Like,
episode.
no,
Hey,
I mean
it's
that's
based,
just the
though.
truth. It's
Yeah.
common fucking sense. People
No,
liberals
I agree,
make
I
fun of
agree.
me, but it's
I
common
agree.
Exactly.
sense.
We're all on the
people-
same page. This
'cause
is very
pe-
centrist.
people
This is
with
very
that-
centrist.
You
Very
have to be
centrist.
sociopathic to have power, and if you're sociopathic, you are in a position of power, you're more likely to abuse people. So
Big facts.
it's literally Occam's razor that the country is run by pedophiles. I mean, dude, fucking
Occam's
Biden versus
right.
Trump
Yeah.
was literally just pedophile rapist one versus like pedophile rapist blue mode or whatever the fuck.
Yeah. Dude, big facts.
Correct.
But yeah, no, I discussed that with my girlfriend earlier because I was like, it is funny, isn't it, that like they keep trying to bring up people on charges, but it is all just for like you said, like the smoke and mirrors, the illusion. You know, let them eat cake, bread and circuses, blah blah blah. It's that vibe because they
Oh,
do this all the
I
time. They're
guarantee
like,
you
"Dude,
that
justice
Trump-
is coming," and it never is because all of these people
QAnon.
are absolutely demented. Like they
Yeah.
all have very,
they're
like,
all
unhealthy
they're all
worldviews.
fucking crazy, dude. They're all fucking crazy. Trump and Clinton, I guarantee you they're friends.
hysteria,
Trump is
dude.
friends with the whole Clinton family, but he's got to say lock her up and she's got to say lock him up, and it's a joke. I mean, there's not that much different between the liberal and the Republican regimes. I mean, there's a few things here and there that makes it worthwhile for a lot of people to get up and
Don't
vote
say
blue.
that. Don't
but
say that.
Don't say what?
Don't lie to the audience. What was the last decent thing you had? I mean, Andrew Yang, but he left. He
Dude,
left the
I was
party.
Yang Gang.
That was the
Andrew-
last- that's not
Andrew
your line, but the
Yang-
he
Andrew Yang
He's
could have been a lot
forsaken the
better
far
than he
left.
was. Yeah,
he's really
he was like, I think that we should actually like, yeah, maybe basic income is a good idea, but we'll have to get rid of the social safety net, and also we got to give a bunch of money to Israel. Okay, I thought you guys were talking about how Andrew Yang is now a pariah. Pariah means bad, right? He's like
Yes.
a pariah of the
Yeah.
far.
Pariah means bad.
I should know. I just wanted to double check. Even though
Not
Wait,
good.
so hold on. Were you saying that?
Maybe not
Yang,
bad, but
Yang,
not good.
I
No,
was thinking
my brother had asked him actually. He DM'd him and he actually answered. He asked what his policy was on Israel, and he replied that he thinks they're our quote unquote greatest ally.
I'm gonna have to bring the hammer down on this.
I used kvetching
Hey,
for
man.
us talking
Hey.
about APAC because APAC is, I mean, it's
Hey.
Israeli, it's Jewish, it is.
Cool it
at
with
the
the
end of the day.
anti-Semitic remarks. Okay.
I ain't no Patrick Bateman.
Yeah, I got the ADL on speed dial.
Like for real.
No, and that's again.
Like,
You know this is not
Hold on a
kosher.
minute. You
No
bring up
pun,
another good
no
point.
pun intended.
Yeah,
This is
you-
not kosher.
But think about it. What if there was a Russian version
We're
of
trying to
the
grow.
ADL or the SPLC?
Oh,
What
they
if
would
there
all be
was-
killed by the CIA like instantly.
Yeah,
They would either
exactly.
be CIA. They would either be CIA run as a false flag, or they would be organic, and then they'd be CIA infiltrated and defanged.
Well, and that's
This
my
is the most
so my issue.
schizophrenic.
It is, but here's
No,
the
that's
thing,
just
so
common
These are-
sense.
No,
My
That's
issue-
just
that's totally
basic
how, that's totally how-
geopolitics.
My
Yeah.
issue is why am I don't know why I'm called like a fucking Nazi for just saying that like all these people come from the same background and have the same
It doesn't
names.
matter. It
Okay,
doesn't matter
no,
why.
okay, Micah, and I'm not saying. Here's the thing, though. They're comparing me to people who would say that the answer to this is genocide. I would simply say the answer is to confront this information as it exists. It is hypocritical. They're saying that if someone else were to do this, it would affect our country's democracy or whatever. But when they do it, it's fine. Why? We need to answer this question because
No, we
Yeah,
don't.
yeah,
We all
yeah.
know
I think
this.
for just the sake of lobbying in general, we need to
yeah.
ask some questions and be like, I don't give a shit if it's the Jew lobby or the ginger lobby, but
Fact.
someone,
Yeah, the Mickeys
you know,
have had it too good for too long here. I won't lie.
yeah, I'll do myself in to protect free speech, because I think that we have a system now where $1 is worth more than one vote, and that is
Mhm.
that's the problem. I mean, Jewish dollars or non-Jewish dollars, it's either way. It's we need to
Goddamn.
figure something out.
We just got to
Um,
figure this whole thing out.
But
Okay,
not-
now we can continue. So we're at
Yeah.
the 5-minute and 41-second mark. So
Okay.
let it be known that this is where the audio gets less spicy. Okay, Michael, let us begin. Oh, so we were talking
'Cause you had to get
we
all
were talking about
serious.
Yang though. So ignoring the
Well, fuck Yang.
the elephant.
Okay, we're
trunk
gonna,
in the room
fuck Yang. You know what? It's
You
time
love
for.
Yang.
I do love Yang, but fuck him right now.
for the conversation.
It's-
Yeah.
If his
It's-
name was Andrew Yin, he'd be
Let's
much more
just-
fuckable.
Let's just say for
it's
the
time
for the sake of the argument, let's just say that we like
for
continue.
the sake
with
of the
this.
argument, let's just say that we moved on to the next segment. Hypothetically.
What if hypothetically I were to move on from this part of the conversation? Wouldn't that then imply that I don't want to talk about the discussion anymore?
We're moving on.
Yeah, it should be easy to move on since
Right
we weren't
now.
talking about anything.
Yes, we're
To
talking
our-
about nothing.
To our
You didn't
our
hear
weekly
anything.
our weekly, and let me remind you, we have been doing this. We've been on this every single
God.
week. Okay, faithfully reporting the news. Okay, getting the details, the important facts. It is time for the Grillcast weekly update on the war in Ukraine. It is still happening.
Slow round of applause. We did it, ladies and gentlemen. We did it.
Also, Chris Cuomo is there. Do you remember Chris Cuomo?
Christopher Cuomo.
Yeah, so Chris Cuomo, who was fired, I guess, a year ago, has recently showed up in the Ukraine. And I have an article from MSN. Donning sunglasses and a helmet, Cuomo toured some of the wreckage in Ukraine and urged people to pay more attention to the bloodshed half a world away. What is happening right now in Ukraine is bad, and America should be paying a lot more attention. I mean, the guy's a poet.
Cutting edge commentary. War's bad. Okay.
Where's
Fucking amazing.
so
Cutting edge.
So this guy is fired, disgraced from CNN for the nepotistic
Yeah, I
activities.
think he's
and
just.
whatnot.
Yeah.
Well, the cool thing to do nowadays is to have
And
a Ukraine flag banner and say Russia bad. So is that just what he's doing to get
down
good with
bad.
the
Well,
libs again?
He's
in-
clout chasing.
in the article, it says that he's rebranded himself as a free agent, which is probably the worst possible thing he could call himself.
Free agent.
And he's traveled to Ukraine, which is also the worst possible place on earth that you could be a free agent. So
Yeah,
between,
yeah.
I mean, and it's like that. To me, this is like when you like hit rock bottom, right? Like you're not doing well in life, and your family is like contacting you, or you're at like a family gathering, and they're like, "How are you doing? What have you been up to?" And you just kind of respond like, "I'm in between jobs. I'm a free agent."
I'm in between the warring nations and between jobs.
And it's oh yeah, well,
They say he's
bog
back
standard.
are you
he's
going
back
back
in New
to
York
school
already?
or? Are you...
I'm not surprised. You know what my favorite part about this article is, though, Micah?
Yeah.
I like the visual because it said donning sunglasses and a helmet, and I just
Yeah.
picture like he probably needs to wear a helmet when he pens these little essays of his, so he doesn't get hurt trying to think about big words like war bad.
Yeah, how do you think this is gonna?
What a dipshit!
How do you think this is this gonna yield Cuomos any returns?
I mean, he's got a point. Like we all liked.
Ukraine
you
is
know,
bad. Let's be fair to Cuomo.
We all like it when a lady friend gets kind of close to us, and we all don't like war. So I mean,
Yeah, that's
you
fair.
know, these,
War
you
is
know,
bad.
It's just he got a little bit too close, though. Is the problem?
He flew too close to the sun, and like Icarus, his wax wings melted, and he's got to fly back on a aluminum jetliner
Icarus.
to good old New York.
Because these politicians, okay. One more conspiracy.
Well,
rant.
he's not a
Yes,
not
please,
a
yes,
politician, but
please.
he's in the
Indulge me now.
cabal. He's in the
that people like
satanic.
Elon Musk and Chris Cuomo, they think that they can just be like, "Oh, hey, you're the person I paid to be my stewardess on my private plane. Well, can I also give you a tip to give me a massage? Oh, okay. Well, can I give you a tip to give me a blowjob? They
Right.
think they can just buy whatever the fuck they want, and then someone's like, "Actually, I'm not comfortable
But
sucking
Andy,
a billionaire's dick." And
What
like,
what if they're of age?
He makes a good point.
but what if
shit.
they're of age?
What if they're
What if
of
the
age,
adult
dude?
consents?
What if they're 18? Yeah. What if they're?
Then they obviously
No,
won't.
I'm just
they won't
saying. I'm
requisition their
saying in my
services.
scenario, I'm saying the times they got in trouble was when somebody actually says, "I don't
Yeah.
want some random billionaire's dick
They
in
say
my
that.
mouth
They
when
say
I'm
that.
like
I say that.
35,000 feet in the air," and they can just randomly be like, "Oh,
I have.
your tooth touched me. I'm gonna throw you out of the." These are sick
Fucking,
people, guys. They're sick fucking people.
The mental image exists in my head of Elon Musk trying to flirt with the stewardess and just being like, Enough about my net worth. Let's talk about my
Enough
net
about
worth.
my
I mean,
He's
the
smoking
funny
a
thing
fat
is,
blunt. Yeah.
he would have actually paid some. He would have paid one of his yes men to do it for him too. And
Go
then
over
she
there
just
and-
have to look back at him smoking a cigar on the back of the plane, just like trying to look like a cool James Bond villain.
I don't know, dude. If
He
I was
really
a
has
girl,
no game.
if I was a girl and somebody came up to me and hit on me and like it was effective, but then they told me that it was some other guy that paid him to go up to me and do it, I feel like I'd be kind of impressed. I feel like I don't know.
Well, then you're a dumb whore. All right, and
You're a floozy,
that's why
Micah.
I date girls based on their personality, and I only date girls that like me for my personality because that's true love. Money can't buy love.
Yeah, money can't buy a gremlin GF that worships autistic BF. And that's the
Yet.
relationship I have. I love it.
It can't yet.
Do you have a gremlin GF?
I have a gremlin GF. She's just she's as off the walls autistic as I am. So it just kind of
Gremlin,
works out.
goblin.
I feel like you're appropriating autistic culture.
I'm not.
I do too.
I'd be
on the
like if you
I agree with
guys.
that.
I'd be like if you guys had me on the show and I was actually not a leftist but just like a hardcore liberal. Like I think
I
that's
would prefer
actually
that. That'd be great.
unfair to.
That would really
Liberals
add. That would really add to the.
I can do it.
con-
I can do my woke liberal impression for the rest of the show. Like, I think that's actually offensive to neurodivergent people, and I will no longer be
I
subbing
think that's
to your
offensive
Patreon.
to
one
neuro
thing-
diaper people.
The one thing that I will say is that, admittedly, look, I am on the spectrum. Like that's not a lie. That's just like
You just
I'm
don't
being
sound.
honest.
I mean,
You don't. Me be
What
honest.
does
that's
that mean,
cool and
though?
that's cool and all.
What does
but
that mean? What does that mean that I
Don't
don't
care.
sound like
Didn't
it?
ask. Plus, you're
What does
white.
that mean?
What does that mean that I don't sound like it?
It means
Oh
you
my
know.
god.
You think that autistic people
I'm not
have to
allowed.
sound a certain way?
I'm no. I was gonna say.
Well,
I'm
that's
not
what
allowed
I'm
to
Vosh. This
say
is a
anything
this is a
because
Vosh. This is a Vosh in a
No,
panel of
and
black
I'm-
women.
no,
yeah,
I'm
it feels like I'm
just-
arguing with Vosh right now.
We're not arguing because I'm just shit posting right now. Well, I'm not shit posting about being on the spectrum, but you know what I mean. I don't care if like you have a weird opinion on it. That's fine.
No, Orion. I just didn't
That's
think
not
you
a
were
rhyme.
actually.
Bro,
Oh, wait.
how
then
dare you?
Who am I talking
He thought
to?
I was. Oh
You thought you
god, damn it, Micah, you are
No,
right. I
I'm
guess I
only-
must sound like him.
I'm just saying that because it says it on the screen.
That's
that
even that's Micah.
That's
I'm
me.
drunk, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God damn
Oh,
it,
Ryan's in
Andy.
Alaska. I thought you knew that. You had.
I
Yeah.
listened to the
Have
last
you not,
episode.
like-
Look, guys, listen for 1 second. I listened to the last episode and I didn't think that the person talking was Orion. I thought it was someone else.
Because it is.
Okay, so
So Ryan's
that's-
gone.
I'm just saying Orion because that's the name I'm looking at right
I
now.
okay,
didn't-
I
I thought
understand-
you
I
know what I
understand.
mean. I'm just saying I should have said Drunkman.
It's
because
okay.
It is a clusterfuck,
Earlier, I was
isn't
like,
it?
whenever Micah talks, why is it going to? And then I'm like, okay, he's using Orion's tag name, and there's a new
Yes.
tag name. My bad, I just mixed
Yeah,
up.
no,
the
Don't
tag
worry
it's-
about
names.
it.
it
Don't
was
worry
just
about it.
funny.
Wait, so
But
this is
still,
now
but-
a clusterfuck.
But still,
No, no,
either
no.
either way, I didn't actually think you were Orion, but
It's
No,
I
funny.
didn't
didn't know if you were making a joke about
You-
Oh, no,
autism
And
or
like
if
I
you
said,
actually
no,
were
I'm
on the
not.
spectrum.
I'm not. Like I said, I'm not offended either. Like I've unironically been asked that plenty of times, and I'm like, I mean, I've had this diagnosis since I was in high school. I went through all the tests required to diagnose
Yeah.
me as being on the spectrum, and it is funny because obviously we live in an age where people are hyper offended. I don't care
Society.
if somebody uses the word autistic freely because I think it's funny as shit. Personally, like, yeah, if someone wants to use what I have as an insult, then that's based because I don't exactly have a high opinion of myself. I'm not an egoist. I have a small penis and I'm an alcoholic, and I think that's based. So, that being said, everyone has the freedom to use any neurodivergent slur they want to.
No, I know
I
what you mean
respect
because
it,
it's
man.
like sometimes I've had people say, "Oh, you're pretty attractive for a redhead,"
Got
and then
him.
I'm like,
Yeah,
Got
what
him.
does that mean? Like, what the
You know,
fuck?
that's exactly like me being like, "Oh, you don't sound that autistic."
But to be fair, I mean, it's a good question because we have to answer the Ed Sheeran question. I think that needs to be addressed. What do we do about him?
What do you what?
What do we do? What do we do? Yeah, what do we do?
about
about
Ed
Gulag,
Sheeran?
gulag,
Gulag the fucking
Gia-
Ed
Gia-
Sheeran.
guillotine.
Guillotine
I've been
for Ed
pronouncing it
Sheeran.
wrong. Guillotine.
Yeah, guillotine. It's a fun word. Like the French people know how to make words that really roll off the fucking tongue.
It just looks like a scary fucking word. Yeah,
Sounds
no
Oh,
fucking
oh my
great.
God! I forgot to share this from the article with
It
you
goes, it goes,
guys.
it goes, it goes, it goes, it
Qu-
goes, it
this
goes,
was
it
a
goes,
this is
skeleton.
a quote from Cuomo. He said, "Right now, Ukrainians sound like Americans 240 years ago versus the British. They're
Fuck
laying down their
off.
lives to keep the freedoms we have here."
I've seen worse.
Oh
I've
boy.
seen someone make a comparison between
is-
what Ukraine
this
is going
is-
with Russia to what the American South went with the Union during the
Oh,
Civil
God, that's
War.
brain dead.
It was hilarious. They call it the War of
Based.
Northern Aggression.
Oh yeah.
So fucking
It's like,
gay.
Yeah.
what the fuck? Why are you guys still talking about the Civil War? Like,
That's the
I'm gonna
greater
be-
point.
yeah, no, I'm
That's
gonna
the
be-
greater
shut
point.
the fuck up.
Anybody who talks about the Civil War in like a braggadocious way is just they're literally
I had
LARPing.
a guy like that in my history class, like for show and tell. We weren't. It's college. I don't know why he thought he could like come in and just do a show and tell, but he did, and he brought a bunch of Confederate swag, and I'm just like,
Cringe.
yeah, I'm like, all right, can we
Confederate
go?
worship is gay. I'm gonna be honest though, like I understand a part of like the naming convention, because even up here in northern public schools, you're taught about like Sherman's march against the South and whatnot. And let's make something perfectly clear. I hate the idea that people just go like, oh well, the South owns slaves, so they deserve to have everything burned down. And I'm like, realistically, the amount of landholding slave owners in the South by percentage was like totally fuck all
Can we
different.
just say that liberals do that nowadays too? They
Yes.
say, do not support these states because they
Yeah,
didn't go, they
hey.
didn't vote blue, and
Hey,
it's like,
man.
what the fuck?
Ain't nothing changed.
Yeah.
Ain't,
For me- for
ain't
me,
nothing
like, no, I
changed.
joke
never
about it all the
changed. It's
time.
still just North versus South.
But that's
us
their
versus
justification.
them.
Their justification
Fucking
was
black
always
people versus
well,
white people.
Capitalism.
dude,
you
they
know,
own slaves. They own slaves down
Versus
south, so they
normal
deserve
people.
it.
capitalism. You know, benefiting from slavery and people, buying products made by
Yo.
slaves. And
But hear me out.
Yeah, it's all the same if you look at foreign labor. Yeah, sorry, go on.
So who cares?
No, it's
Drunksman.
cool. So they talk about they go, oh well, they own slaves, so they deserve to have that happen. And I go, but what makes you think that people up north burnt down the South for like what's the term I'm looking for? Like morally responsible reasons. Do you think they were going,
oh,
yeah,
dude,
this
nobody
is for the
thinks
slaves,
that,
dude?
I mean,
So yeah, I
people
just don't like
people
that.
that don't matter, people that don't listen to the show.
Yeah, it's a weird
People who you're
justification.
never
I don't
gonna.
like it.
Yeah, it's dumb. It's really dumb. Nobody's
Mhm.
moral ever. Nobody's moral right now. Why would they have been
Yeah.
200 years ago?
That's a good point, Micah. They didn't even wash their ass.
That's
It's a very important thing to know.
stinky butt.
History didn't start
epidemic.
mattering, in my opinion. I don't think any part of history matters until people started washing their asses regularly.
That's true. Yeah, because I kind of have like a very clean
Washed ass
personality.
supremacist.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like,
I
I
wash
like-
my ass.
I like everything to be very clean all the time. My room, my kitchen, my bathroom, my body. So, but is it? I don't know. Maybe maybe judgmental. To I don't know. Maybe I'm judgmental because
I think
just,
you are judgmental, dude.
Being
you know,
judgmental
I
is
just
base,
prefer
though.
shit to be clean.
Anyone
So
who
that's
says
that's
that,
why, and that's why I know that. That's why I
It's a very
personally-
conservative take, to be honest.
Well, that's why I'm an anarchist
it?
because I know that
yeah.
people shouldn't have power over others. Because if I had power over others, if you don't if you leave your dishes in the sink and 24 hours go by and they're still not done, if you do that, if you're a repeat offender, you would be sentenced to hang,
Gulag,
basically.
boy.
I mean, you would basically just be you would die. There'd be no, and that would only be for repeat offenders. But that's why that's why I know that, hey, maybe anarchism is for the best, because if I had power, it would be pretty bad for a lot of people.
Well, how can I still can't understand that, man. Like, if you can have that thought, how can you possibly have faith in that kind of system?
Because well, I mean, let's say things are democratically
It's like no different
run.
than anything else. Like, it's,
No. If things are democratically run, then it would be like, hey guys, should people who don't do their
Hey,
dishes
man.
be killed? And then it would be like, no, of course they shouldn't be.
I mean, what if your
You know what I
mom was
mean?
democratically run? I mean, would that make?
Well, that's
That
so
make her-
my mom is already a single unit of, like, she's one political unit, right? She's one body, one consciousness, one vote. So you already have her down to just one unit of political sovereignty, basically. So there's no need to democratize her atoms or something per se. See what I'm saying?
Fuck you.
I can
that
ruin a
was-
joke, man. I
All
can.
right. All right.
Do you know? Do you know what I'm gonna start calling that, Micah? I'm gonna
What?
call that the invocation of Ray William Johnson from now on.
The what?
When you talk about doing your mom,
Oh,
Yeah,
oh
that's
my
the-
god, that's so old.
that's the
Oh
the
my
Ray William
God.
Johnson.
Dude, I don't even
invocation.
know that. and
That's so
I'm a
old.
younger millennial, and I don't
Doing
even
your
know it.
mom. That's all I have to say from now on. Doing your
Boomer.
mom.
20.
Point discredited. Don't care. Didn't ask. Plus doing
Pop
your mom.
culture for me started at Three's Company and ended with Mad TV.
Bro, Mad TV was the shit though. Those Stewart segments had me fucking rolling.
You
back in
watch
the
it
day.
nowadays, and
Stewart.
you're just like, this
Totally
is kind
different.
of like just making fun of people with.
Dude, what do you mean unironic shows on fucking TLC about retarded people make fun of retarded people just
Dude,
by
you know
filming
that's
them?
true.
One of the
Like
most
we all know what it's
popular-
for. It's not for us to go,
Yeah.
oh, it's for
Yeah,
us
it's for
to be like, oh my god, I can't believe they're
exhibitionist.
doing.
just like shows where they're like, look,
It's
this
literally.
is an 800-pound person, and they just want basic respect and civil rights, and then they show
Fuck
them
them.
like falling
Fuck
out of the
them,
bed
yeah,
trying
fuck
to
them.
trying to
Cake
get a
in their mouth.
remote. No, but I'm just saying that's my point. Is that I
Yeah.
agree.
It's
like, they don't-
exhibitionist. Yeah.
They want us to just fucking
And
make
that's
fun of
base.
everyone.
And that's base. And I think
I
that's
think,
amazing.
like,
I
You think
that's-
it's no? It reminds me of Idiocracy, where
So
the
good.
all the TV shows
Yeah,
will just be
so it's
someone getting
base.
hit in the nuts. That's not
Kicked in the
base, dude.
nuts.
That's
Oh,
Did you see it?
anti-intellectual.
Kicked in the nuts.
Andy,
I
don't
miss
you remember
kicking
that
the nuts.
amazing movie within the movie, the Inception movie, where it's just a guy farting for an hour? That was so. That was the funniest fucking
no,
thing.
okay,
That's what it
okay.
was,
You
yeah.
know what is so funny? I watched a video essay about Idiocracy. I usually don't nerd out that hard, but this one was really good. He talked about how Mike Judge actually. So what happened for that scene for Idiocracy? There's a movie right where it just shows a naked male ass farting, and then everyone, all the audience
yeah,
that they
lose
show you
their
are
shit.
just laughing. Here's what Mike Judge said. He said they just shot the scene really quick, and he didn't actually tell anyone beforehand what they were going to be shown and to tell them what to do. So these people, they did not know what they were about to watch, and then all of a sudden they just saw a butt farting, and they laughed. They laughed for like 5 minutes straight, and he says no one told them to laugh. They just instinctively started laughing. So then Mike Judge said that. He said, what's the point of us making this fucking movie if we could literally just show a butt farting and people would be entertained?
It's
So many
iconic.
layers.
It's
There's
iconic.
so
I've heard
much
that
to it.
story. It's
It's so
That's
it really
awesome.
it really says a
Dude,
lot about
the-
our
well, the thing
society.
is, you know why that-
Society.
Dude, remember back in the day, the reason why I know about Idiocracy is because as a preteen, I saw it at Blockbuster, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm a fan of dystopian movies, and I'm a fan of comedies. How have I never heard of this movie or seen it before? And that's because the corporate sponsors didn't realize that they would just be made fun of the whole time.
Fact.
And then when the movie actually
Rondo.
started and they saw that they were making fun of American capitalism and consumer culture and Gatorade and shit like that, then they were like, oh fuck, we don't actually want that many people to see this movie. So the studio tried to kill it by giving him a really shitty budget and not enough time to do these shots. But he got it done anyways, and then sure enough it developed a cult following. But this just goes to show back in the early 2000s, I don't know how old you guys are, but you weren't allowed to critique American capitalism, especially post 9/11, and even before that, because it was if you critiqued American capitalism, you were a Russian agent. And then
I am a Russian agent.
After 9/11, if you critiqued American capitalism, you were a heretic. You were like a terrorist, basically. We're
I am
just
a
now
terrorist.
starting to be able to critique capitalism again.
Oh, fucking.
No, it is funny though how a lot of conservatives will have like 50 AR-15s, and then they'll be like, "Yeah, and I bet these liberals call me a terrorist." It's like,
I mean,
dude, if
Yeah.
you have 50 AR-15s, you kind of look like one, and
I mean,
you're always
more so
talking
than
about
someone who
bringing
doesn't.
down
I mean,
the
yeah,
state.
the homosexuals do be going off a little too much.
Dude, fucking. You know what's funny though is you talk about that fart scene, and all I think about is I don't even think about film or reality TV. I actually just think about the memes that you fucking see in your feed. Because it'll literally just be a picture of a bare ass, and it'll be like, "Oh, when the butt farts," bottom text, and I will laugh because there's something fundamentally broken in my brain.
It's
that
like-
no amount of therapy or shock.
it's
could
because
fix.
it's like subversive.
Oh
It's
my
like
God. Yeah.
bad memes are like, I know this is supposed to be good, but I'm gonna purposely make it bad. So then it's like able to be like highbrow again. But what's really bad are just unironically bad memes, which
Yes.
is just all over Instagram.
Top text, bottom text, all edge, no point, no fucking substance.
Yeah.
A lot of times they're just things that are like, you can relate to this, right? And then there's just no joke.
Yes,
Just
exactly.
like-
Do you ever just sit in your truck?
Yeah.
Bottom text.
Oh my God.
Do you ever just shit in your truck? That's the better. Yes, every day. I'm gonna let it marinate too. Sue me.
Ugh.
Sue me.
I don't think anyone will want to.
I'm just kidding, bro. I'm heterosexual. I don't drive a truck.
We got a meme page fucking operator right here in the
That is true.
Right here
I
on
do
the
make
show.
I do make low tier fucking content.
What is the Okay, so what was the purpose of this episode again?
What do you mean? We're just
I guess to
shooting
talk
we're
about-
shooting the shit. We're talking about
Oh.
shooting the shit.
I guess we were just talking
Okay.
about idiocracy and butts farting. I think that's gonna get us a million views. This is gonna be our first video to hit 1 million views.
Guys, we
Yeah.
really need this one to go viral. So
Yeah, this one. I mean, we've just covered so much that I don't think has ever been touched upon in any previous episode.
This really is like I like the dialogue here because
It's
yeah, this is like real. This is real
this
shit.
is so real right now, dude.
Real
I'm feeling the
shit.
connection.
It's
I'm feeling
authentic
something.
African American hours.
It's in,
Three
it's in that usual
guys.
place. I'm feeling that feeling that I usually
3
feel.
dudes, 3
when I'm
bros,
feeling
3
good.
amigos.
your brain, I'm hoping.
This is your brain on Grillcast. Fucking-
So what is okay? Everyone, go around the room, say
Go
your
around
name
the room.
and your political views.
What do you mean?
Say your name,
You already know what our
occupation,
views are.
social
I have
security
no-
number.
I don't know. I don't know where the fuck. I never was there. I just all of a sudden heard one of your guys' episodes.
Orion
And-
and myself are both radical centrists, and the drunk
Yeah.
man is a Nazi.
Fuck
Oh.
you.
Fuck. Why is it
No, I'm just
always
kidding.
like you guys
I'm
bring
just
me
kidding. I'm
on
just
with the
kidding.
Nazi, and then I'm
Well-
like talking to someone just one on one as two men. And
You've
then
noticed
it's like,
that we
after the episode, it's like, oh, this guy's a Nazi. Haha, you platformed a Nazi. It's
isn't
like
isn't,
What do
every
you
fucking
mean?
isn't
every
the
fucking
irony-
episode.
Hold on a minute.
No,
Isn't-
hold
isn't
on,
the
Andy. Why
irony
do you
here-
always do this? You always have this cheeky
No.
fucking
Well, around
left wing
around the middle- or-
misrepresentation thing. When you
You
debated
said
that
he's
one
a
guy,
Nazi,
I
bro.
was joking.
I'm not.
Oh,
It's a joke.
Okay.
I'm not.
God damn it, Andy.
And
Okay.
for-
But
for
the only
anyone in
time
my
I brought you on the
audience-
show
Uh,
with an actual fascist,
For-
you knew beforehand that you were going to be.
I
having
knew,
it-
and
having
so
it.
I turned my mic up super loud, and then you couldn't hear anything but me breathing the whole time. So that was actually an Antifa tactic.
Was that an Antifa? What would you call that? An Antifa win, that video, or an Antifa loss?
I'm calling it an Antifa win because
Okay.
he didn't even try to debate me. So
No, he couldn't come
couldn't
back from the
handle-
facts and logic that
He
you were
couldn't handle it.
dispensing.
oh
the,
come on,
the
I did
arguments
pretty
for
good.
anarchy.
I
You
did pretty good.
You did.
Hear me out. Here's the thing, though, Andy, is you and I probably don't disagree on a lot of stuff.
I don't-
I'm
Well,
only,
Andy
I'm
agrees
only,
with fascists on a lot of issues.
I'm
That's the
only
problem.
I'm only far right when I'm talking about a specific demographic, not multiple, a specific demographic, which will not be named at all.
Is it gay
Okay.
people? Is it trans
No,
people?
absolutely not. None of
Okay,
those people.
well,
All
those
those
are-
people are cool. I'd hang
those
out
are
with all
my-
those people.
I
Yeah.
got gay and trans people in my family. So.
I love gay people. He knows how I feel about.
Well, then we're cool, you know.
yeah, exactly. It's
I'm not
You know,
gay.
we're cool.
I'm I literally no, I have unironically, I hate to be the token guy, but I literally have fucking gay
Feelings.
black friend.
Look, everyone.
And I have kissed my gay black friend on the lips. and I will say that
Unfortunately,
right now on
almost
the air.
everyone has one
I'm not
group of
gay.
people that they hate.
Fucking yeah, exactly.
You know,
So,
for me, it's the Italians.
base.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't think I actually have a group of people I hate. I have groups of people that I think should either lobby more or lobby less. But
Facts.
I don't.
I hate white people. I hate the LGBT. I
Hey,
hate
hey, 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 hey!
women.
No, take
I
back,
hate
take back.
China.
No,
Actually,
take
it's like I
back-
love China. I
take
take
back
that one
everything
back.
but white people, or else we're gonna get age restricted.
No,
you can
it's
hate
fine.
white people on air, but
No.
you can't do the others.
No, it's fine. They're white.
Yeah, but they're white. They're honorary. Let's
Honorary
go.
white. Yeah.
It's because white
LGBT and women honorary white.
It's because white people do cringy shit like pose with
Yeah.
AR-15s holding them the wrong way, and then
Yes.
Or they
I
tell
wish,
public supermarket stories on Twitter.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'm with you, Andy. I'm with you, man. I think
And then everyone clapped stories.
think,
There's
I
nobody
wish-
who isn't white. Like nobody who's said one of those is not a white person.
I wish more white people would hold their AR-15s like Ronnie McNutt. If I'm being honest,
Ronnie McNutt.
that's for all like the deep lore fucking fanatics out in the audience. Ronnie
You-
McNutt. That blew my mind.
Uvalde.
Yes,
Did
let's
you
talk
guys?
about it.
My question is, did you guys ever hear the word Uvalde before this shooting happened?
No,
Because
it might
I
as well
never
not
even heard of
exist.
it.
It might as well not have existed to me.
Yeah, no, I didn't
It just
really hear
sounds
much
weird.
about it
Like,
at all.
I wanna
except
physically-
conspiracies,
I want to make actionable threats of violence against the person who named that town.
but you can't do that.
What
I
does
know
it
I
mean?
can't because
Let's
they're
see.
probably not alive anymore. So I can't make actionable threats of. I would, but I can't.
Uvalde.
So.
Oh,
Uvalde.
that was a Mexican
It's a stupid
governor in 1856,
Yeah.
John de Ugalde.
Did you just Google it or
Mm.
something?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
He,
Oh,
well,
thanks, Jamie.
you know, for any ancestors of this guy, I don't know if you can maybe just like keep him in your prayers tonight and just say that some random fucking loser on the internet said that he needs to suck me off soft. Just for naming the town that. Not anything
So what did
else.
you
I'm sure he was a
want to
good
talk
guy.
about? No, like, what the fuck did you want to actually talk about though?
Does this guy have ADD or something? Do we need
Worse.
to fucking
He hasn't had
Yeah.
enough to drink. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is like fucking withdrawals, man.
Oh shit.
Feels like it.
But yeah,
Feels
what
like
what
it.
were we? What did you want to talk about specifically?
Yeah, what was that
Uvalde.
going towards? You said, have you ever heard of it before?
That's what I was. That's basically
The
my
mass shooting.
The mass shooting.
My question about the mass shooting was the city it happened in. Were you guys aware of that city before it happened?
No.
'Cause it feels-
Uh,
I'm just saying it feels to
Why?
me like they're making up these towns as they
Shut
go.
the fuck
right?
up.
Because there's
Shut up right now.
what kind of weirdo lives in
No,
a town called
no,
Sandy
no,
Hook?
No,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
no,
for
no,
real.
no.
Aurora.
It's gone.
Aurora Borealis.
It's gone.
What's the other one? Boulder. I mean,
Oh
they're
my
just
God.
making Buffalo, New York. They're just making up towns. at
Like
this
buffalo
point.
sauce. That's retarded.
San
Buffaloes don't have
Bernardino.
wings.
San
San Bernardino.
just
San
making
burned
these
burned
towns
my
up.
Dino. What?
They're making up these towns, filling them up with crisis actors.
Las
and
Vegas. Like
they're
what
killing
the fuck?
all the. Yeah, I never heard of
What
it. And
is-
they're killing all these actors, and then they got to make new actors. It's really weird.
It's a high tier play. It's a high effort. It's a
I'm
high
like,
effort
wait,
scheme.
couldn't you guys just cover the? Since they're actors, couldn't you just cover them in fake blood? Why do you have to actually kill them? And they're like, well, it looks more realistic on the news if
It's
we
more
actually kill them."
convincing.
And I said, well,
Wait,
do
it's
the act-
easier to convince people that they're dead if you actually kill them.
Right, right. And I asked them, I said, do these actors know that you're going to kill them? And they said, no, of course not, but they're handsomely paid. And I said, well, where the fuck is this money going to? So that was kind of, I don't know. That's true. Yeah.
But yeah, no, there was a couple cops caught on camera, and God damn it. So I'm just receiving information from one of our correspondents saying that the shooter was identified as Hugh G. Rection.
Yes, I think that
Hugh
was the name. I believe that was the
G.
name.
last name Rection.
Rection
I'm not sure-
huge. Rection huge.
Misdirection. Very unfortunate that you
misdirection?
decided to do that.
Misdirection sounds a lot like misdirection. Is this a certified Alex Jones gay frog conspiracy moment? Let us know in the comments.
Well,
Let us know in the comments below. Like and subscribe. Don't forget to buy all of our merch. It has dead bodies on it.
oh, wow. I don't know if now's the best time for
It
like
has
that.
Technoblade on it.
That one guy that was like, "Hey, y'all need to get over that shooting."
Oh no.
a few
was
hours
that?
earlier that
Who
day.
was
That's
that?
some dumb fuck senator.
Oh,
So
no.
I don't even know.
You guys just need to get over it, bro. Like,
Typical.
I know the bodies aren't even cold yet, but like, fuck them kids, man. That's, that's
Yeah,
fucking-
the bodies were still warm and covered in blood, and he was
I
like,
mean, it's like I said in the last episode. It's like, what do you really expect us to do? Like the kids, those dead kids aren't asking us to do anything about gun control.
"Yeah,
It's just
He's
another
like,
day in
"Look."
America, another mass shooting.
I'm trying
It's
to eat
okay.
my tiramisu, and y'all talking about gun control is, it's just kind of distracting and it's kind of annoying."
I just want to fucking grill, for God's sake. Amen, brother.
Amen.
Grill some fried ice cream. Oh, that'd be sick. I haven't had fried ice cream in so long.
Fried ice cream's dope as shit.
I haven't had it
I
in
wasn't sold on
years.
it. I didn't even think that shit was real for the longest time.
I should
Like, how
fly
the
out
fuck do you
there.
do
We
that?
should
You
should
didn't
all get
believe
fried
it.
ice cream.
Show me the
should-
science. Show me the evidence.
Yeah,
Do you have a
exactly
source to
right.
back up that claim?
I'm a
You
fried
can
ice
fry
cream
ice cream?
denier. I'm a
Who's
fried
behind
ice
that?
cream denier.
Who's behind that one? Big Fry or Big Ice Cream?
Good. It's a collaboration. It's a conspiracy.
I did kind of want to talk about Shinzo Abe, who was the Japanese prime minister that got fucking
Yeah, he was
assassinated.
Yeah,
Assassinated.
his life was snuffed out by an angry incel, I think. So, I mean, the dude's entire political platform was "please have sex," so the guy's got to get zero pussy, right?
Yeah, I didn't
Dude,
hear much
huh.
about the reasoning. I assumed it was some type of political thing
Like-
because I always hear about how he's like he's like really right wing or something. and-
I think they said that
Mm.
he was a war crime denier, which I would believe because most Japanese
all Japanese
politicians
people
are
are,
like,
yeah.
they're like, actually, Nanking didn't happen, and I go, well, these newspaper clippings.
Part of the
say that it was, bro."
citizenship test to get a citizenship in Japan is denying a war crime.
That's fucking wild. I
In
never
written
even-
statement. Yeah, you didn't know that?
Some of it's funny, like, do you know what I mean? Because don't get me wrong, like Nanking definitely happened, but they're like, oh, the river turned completely red with blood, and I'm like, that
I mean,
almost
but who
sounds
doesn't?
like yeah.
Who amongst us doesn't embellish a story a little bit? I mean,
Fact. Yeah, my you know it's funny because I actually have a story too, Mike, and this is actually a true one. You can quote me on this. So my ancestors, at least from like the early 1900s on, were actually they were Austrian, and
Oh, boy.
so my grandma was
boy.
actually she was in the camps in the Second World War. And it was like really sad. They put her into a freezer.
Oh my god.
And
went-
I don't know. I get choked up when I think about this because it's really sad.
Oh, so you had to turn off your mic. You're turning off your mic because you have to cry. Okay.
Thank you, Micah. It's
Okay.
it's very tragic. So yeah, when she had frozen, they opened up the door and she
God.
she fell out and turned into a million pieces. Oh,
What the fuck? That's not funny. Did that actually happen?
Yeah, absolutely, dude. It was very tragic.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Wow.
You're such a shithead. It's not even like.
Okay, so this is a joke, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, thank god.
Yeah. Right.
So,
Um,
anyways,
I shudder to think. I shudder to think how many.
You
perished
guys
as
you guys
ice
are
cubes.
right. Abe was a staunch conservative whom political commentators had described as a right-wing Japanese nationalist. Associated with the Nippon Kaiji, he held
Nippon.
negationist views on Japanese history, including denying the role of government coercion in the
Based.
recruitment of, listen to this, so you guys are right, comfort women during World War II.
Based.
Bruh.
So he was basically
He was based.
he was like, they're like, well, dude, remember that time where you guys like took a bunch of women from South Korea and shit and like gave them to your soldiers to rape? And then he's like, oh yeah, the comfort women? Nah, I don't remember that.
If
What
we
a
can get
broad
over
moment.
Brett Kavanaugh's comfort women, we can get over there. They can get over those ones.
But like I'm saying, I don't think it was really a political thing that happened.
No,
I think
no,
it was
It wasn't. It was a
it-
very
it was-
human thing.
it was
very-
more of like, I think it was really just secret society shit, like every other thing that
No,
actually
dude.
happens.
Uh,
No, that's what I
that's just
read.
a
Do I have
pee-pee
to read the
poo-poo
fucking?
human I fuck you moment. Like,
Do I have to read the fucking article again? Because that's what it said.
Hey man,
Oh,
let's
please
go a
don't.
step further than that though. Let's go a step further than that.
A
'cause
step
I
further than
agree- no.
reading one article.
No. Like I just what you were talking about.
Let's step up the war crime example.
I agree with what you're talking
okay.
about. No, because you mentioned it's like a secret society thing. At the end of the day, who actually writes history if not the victor?
I think you guys are just jealous that you're not members of the secret society.
You're right, dude. I wish I was committing
I
war
think you're
crimes.
all
If I
just
was
a little
a-
bit.
no,
I think you're all
no,
just a
if-
little bit salty.
Dude, if I was a member of the secret society, I would for sure be a mole. I would like for sure be a fox in the hen house.
I'd backstab the
Like,
shit out of them.
I'd figure out. But what they do is they make you do this thing where they have you fuck a kid and they film it.
True.
And
they
then
want
if
to
you try to
incriminate you.
leave, so you can't.
Is that
That's
confirmed?
why.
Do you have an
That's why you
accredited
can't.
source to back up that claim?
I've been there, Micah. Shit happens. No, I'm just kidding.
Ugh.
Thankfully, I haven't been there. But that's what everyone will tell you that actually knows what they're talking about.
Actionable admission?
They'll have you fuck a kid and then they film it, and then that way when you want to come out and say, yeah, it's really fucked up what they're doing. They're killing a bunch of people and then they're selling their bodies.
They inject you with the chemical that turns
They
you
do
into
a blood-
Terry A. Davis.
They do a blood. I shouldn't say this, but they do a bloodletting ritual, and then they take the meat and they sell
I
it to
shouldn't be
McDonald's.
saying this.
Based.
So I mean, it's
This is-
it's fucked up, but that's what it is. And then if you come out and say anything about it, they're like, well, we're gonna tell the New York Times that you fucked this kid, and we have the video evidence.
We're sending a Mossad agent to your current location, and your wife and kids are gone.
Yeah, Mossad or CIA or MI5, MI6, whatever.
Hey man, I'm not trying to point fingers. I only said Mossad because Maxwell had like huge connections to them. That's happens.
Right, yeah. So it says here
What about the ING?
the
What the fuck are you saying, dude?
International Union of Gamers.
No, the I'm not gay.
I'm not gay.
All right, so guys, the suspect name as Tatsuya Yamagami admitted shooting Abe with a homemade gun and sorry, is it Abi?
Homemade gun?
I don't know why I
Shinzo
said
Abe,
Abe.
pretty
It's
sure.
Shooting Abi with a homemade gun and said he had a grudge against a specific organization. So
Hmm.
that's why I'm saying
an unspecified specific organization.
exactly.
Interesting.
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, it's probably just feuding crime syndicates. I don't think it even had anything to do
Yeah.
political.
Do you think it was I can't speak. Do you think it was Yakuza or do you think it was like a rice cell? Do you think
the
it was
fuck?
I don't think it was. I'm not even gonna say that word, but
Rice
I think it would have been something like the
rice cell?
Yakuza.
rice cell?
I think it would have either been
Manlet rage, you know?
it was either someone who
God.
was against the Yakuza or was for the Yakuza or it was a completely different crime syndicate. But I think almost for sure it was a crime syndicate. I
Well, they're
mean,
sad about this because without
is,
him constantly yammering at them to fuck, I mean,
Yeah.
the birth rate's going to end up worse than it already is over there.
It's a sad state of affairs. 'cause
Not
now
that
the
I think that
Japanese
that's
will never touch
necessarily a bad
grass.
thing either. I don't really think like population decreases are necessarily a bad thing. That's less people around me to piss me off.
I think it's an economic
Eat
fear.
food.
for
wait,
them.
dude, they say it's at. So did it go back up? Because it's at 1.36 births per women.
I don't fucking know.
Oh, you know what? Doesn't it technically need to be 2 because
Yeah.
you
It
need
needs
to
to
be over
replace-
2.1.
Yeah, because you
Gotta be
need to
2.1.
replace the man and the woman, so it needs
Yep.
to be 2. Yeah, so dude, United States is lower too. We're at 1.7. Well, that's a good thing, kind of.
Well, we just
I
import
guess.
our
I mean,
population.
clearly it's not helping with anything. Like inflation's still going to
Yeah.
be fucked. Like all the factors that would normally be affected nominally by birth rates doesn't matter anymore. You're fucked. You're going to have to
Yeah,
eat the bug and live in
that's
the
true,
pot
yeah.
anyway. So I hate to be black-pilled, but that's the case. Thank God that we don't have our good friend from the Doge page because he'd be chastising me right now for being
this kind
black-pilled.
of, yeah,
But that's just the
nihilist
reality. It's what's going
behavior.
to happen. You can't stop it now. Genie's out of the bottle, boys.
No, you could never stop it. It's just the powers that be. They do whatever the fuck they want to do, and if you have a problem with it and you speak out against it, they'll convince you to fuck a kid. They'll record
kill
it,
you.
and then they'll kill you. I mean.
I feel like that's a lot easier.
Or they'll just program the algorithm to not give a shit about you.
delete
I mean, that's
you.
just how
You've
it
been
goes.
deleted.
I do
Yeah.
need that. That's
Physical
the quote of the
delete.
episode. That's the quote of the episode. They will make you fuck a kid. Andy, 2022.
What do centrists do when a centrist comrade dies? Do they say rest in power and like hold up a spatula?
yeah.
Grill in peace.
Grill in
Grill in
peace.
peace.
I need to be cremated because my last fucking
That's
act
What's
on
your
this earth
what's
needs
your
to be being
beef? What's your
grilled.
beef with Normal?
Centrists just need to know that the left is way cooler because we get to hold up our fist and actually stand for something.
Maybe.
Platitudes and
The thing about being centrist is it might be contrarian sometimes, but you always have the ability to flip flop until you're right,
yeah.
at least.
I mean, I can be on the right side whenever I want to be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas being left wing, you have to be. Don't get me wrong. Like at least you're intelligent, and I won't lie. There's definitely a group of leftists, God bless them, that are doing the actual work to unionize and do labor organization.
Yeah, that shit's good.
And put in the work to actually make this
It's like
country a lot easier to live in.
touching
However,
grass politically.
you are stuck with a not even a minority, not even like you have a majority of people that are just like fucking
the worst.
neurodivergent. I would literally just like you couldn't stand 5 feet away from them because they smell like shit and have nothing interesting to say. Like that is the majority of the people that you're stuck.
Those are like
allied with. You know what I mean? You are in a. You're not in a. It doesn't mean you're in a losing battle, but it means that if you win, at what cost?
Well, I think the difference between the smelly troglodyte members of the left and the smelly troglodyte members of the right is that they kind of evoke different emotions from you. Like when I look at the troglodyte smelly right winger, I'm just kind of sad, whereas the one on the left
it's
is just
pitiable,
it's
incel
obnoxious
them and shit. And then for leftoids, it's like sexual deviancy, like
the
getting
left
fucked in a fursuit or whatever.
The left does this thing where, and by left I mean like the progressive faux left most of the time, but
co-opted left.
But
yeah.
they fetishize weakness, and the right fetishizes strength. So that's you can understand any political difference by just understanding that.
True, like the difference between being like, yeah, my wife can't be around other men alone, and my wife needs to be fucked by 50 black men. The totally opposite ends of the spectrum. It's kind of true.
It
like
can,
you make a good point.
It can fit into there. It's more of like, well, just so you know, guys, I actually am queer coded, and I'm pretty neurodivergent myself. I was almost diagnosed with ADHD.
Remember when we just used to call people quirky?
Yeah, that was a little bit easier, and we were just like, "You're quirky," but
now
it is
you're
good
neurodivergent.
It is good that people are getting their diagnoses, when they're warranted. But it's just like,
what if?
TikTok,
but Andy, what if they're just? What if the psychologists are just making it up?
I mean, dude,
well, psychology is the
closest. What if this is just another example of big pharma meddling in our lives?
No, that there is an argument
just giving us fake illnesses
to
treat.
Yeah, there is an argument to be made there by Mark Fisher in Capitalist Realism, saying that we actually need to think about these. We're looking at psychological issues as pertain to the individual, but we actually need to look at them as they pertain to society. So that there is an actual left-wing critique of big pharma.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say I've always had the opposite ideation, where I hate how generalized psychology is, because you're making the argument that with the 8 billion so people on this planet, you can fucking figure out all of them with one baseline. I think that's fucking retarded. All these people have like completely different brains down to the molecular level. Every last cell is unique in its own way. And these people go, yeah, well, I can classify like any average person with schizophrenia. I can classify any average person with this, that, or the other. And it's like psychology becomes more and more of a pseudoscience the more that you delve into like not even like theory, but I'm struggling to find the word for it here. But like when people talk about shit like what's the big one that people use all the time? Cognitive dissonance and shit like that. Phrases like that end up becoming a word salad in people's arguments, because it's like you don't fucking understand how it actually works. Most of the people who bring it up don't get it.
Yeah,
they're just cognitive dissonance. It's just an ad hominem for them. And that's what so psychology to me has always come across as like more of a pseudoscience. Like they just
I don't know about you, dude. My trauma checklist comes in handy when I'm trying to pick up women.
Oh, fuck you, dude.
But the left's critique of psychology actually does account for that, though. They basically say that they say that every person is their own individual and they're really unique and creative in their own way, but that because they need to make ends meet and fit themselves into a square hole to be a peg in the machine of global capitalism, that oftentimes they're not actually to really express themselves in the way that they want to, because they're just busy stuck in the rat race. So
Power process moment.
the left-wing critique is saying that because of the machine of global capitalism, a lot of us are depressed because we're not able to express our own like human synchronicities, and like work when we want, work how we want, work why we want, when we want. So the left-wing critique of big pharma is actually pretty complicated, and it accounts both for collectivism, and it accounts for the individual.
You know, it's funny that you bring that up, because I read this article not too long ago that I found really interesting, and it was basically asserting that if you were like a serf in like 14th or 15th century, fucking, if you're in like Europe or whatever, you probably lived better then than you would
Shut
now.
the fuck up.
No.
There's
Like,
Yeah,
no,
I
that's
listen.
the
saw
most
that.
retarded shit I've ever heard.
It's like a, referring to, well, in
I'm
Spain
so
they still
sick
do
of
what,
people saying
siestas or
shit
whatever.
on the internet.
No, but like hear me out.
But they
It's-
took naps and
I
ate
no, I
organic.
understand what they're saying though. Like if you applied those same situations to like the way that things exist today, would you not be happier?
No.
You don't have to use that free time to sleep or
No,
anything. I'm
dude.
just saying,
I
if you
want
were
to
told
sit in my
like,
virtualizer all day, okay, masturbate, and play video games.
That's funny. That's like the whole thing that my new album critiques. It's like basically we're all gonna be just locked.
I don't
want to
be a serf.
Coomer
Okay.
futurism or
With
whatever.
back
Yeah,
problems
yeah,
at
pretty
30
much.
years old, rotted out teeth.
We've already hit Coomer futurism, because
It's
you
the
have
elephant in
people
the
jerking
room.
the
Coomer
VR
futurism.
porn, so it's
Yeah, and I've wanted to write a book
It's
about
better than
that
the
because
alternative.
I felt like that would be an extension of like the sexuality in 1984 and the sexuality of Brave New World, and that you need to kind of like bring both Huxley's and Orwell's ideas together and then modernize it and then be
I don't
like,
think.
dude,
I
I
don't
have a
think
good title.
criticizing
I have a good title for
Coomer
your book.
futurism is
no,
gonna.
because wait, hold up, one point real
Sure.
quick, is that like going off of what Orwell was thinking, sexuality is a big reason for why we see in the bridge between inceldom and fascism is really a lot of people that can't get laid, and then they blame their problems on multiculturalism and the Jews. And then we do see that today, and
True.
Orwell always talked about sexually repressed people basically being fascist. So, but then Huxley's idea was the government and corporations are doing a bunch of fucked up shit, but then you don't care because you're doing drugs and watching porn, and Orwell actually talked about that too in 1984 a little bit.
But
Hyper
he ended up being
domestication,
wrong.
really.
We just legitimately don't care.
It's hyper domestication.
He ended up
but
being
we
wrong
don't know.
about that.
But I think you're right that we don't care because of hyper domestication. I mean, we've conquered the whole entire world. You could go right now, and as long as you work a few hours a week or whatever, you could order food right to your doorstep. And is it hot? Turn on the AC. Is it cold? Go turn on the heater. I mean, we have all of nature just completely domesticated and suited to fulfill our needs. And then so we can just hang out in our rooms all day. We could even watch fucking porn, and then porn simulates that it's giving you dopamine, making you think that you're
The
being
illusion
rewarded.
of intimacy, yeah.
Yeah, for spreading your genes with like thousands of different women when you're not doing that. So, but and with video games too. I mean, between pornography and video games and social media, we're giving the tools to the newest generation to actually not ever have to leave their safe space. They
That
can
is
just
true.
be locked in their bedrooms all day. The government can do whatever the fuck
Moms
they want.
against everything.
And then you're gonna have some kids that they actually, instead of being born with neurological divergencies, that they might actually just develop them. So now it's gonna be like, oh, do you want to go to the protest at Capitol Hill? Oh no, I can't remember. I'm like kind of have agoraphobia. I have really bad anxiety.
I have pee pee poo poo for you.
And it's really just someone that was locked in their room all day and not really forced to socialize outside of the technological sphere.
Well, if we could take a break
know.
from talking about our listeners,
Hey, I wanted to say one more thing though, because Andy, if you're gonna make that book, I got a banger of a title for you, heater of a title.
Yeah.
The Age of the Coomer Cometh.
That's sick. I was thinking,
Cometh. Let's go. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Get that double entendre in there. Cometh.
Well, I got
want them
about
pages sticking
fucking
together.
you fuckers have left me with an hour and 50 minutes of
Frankenstein's
fucking
monster.
I
shit to
really-
sift through.
oh my god, I know, and I'm starving.
Probably
and
30, literally 30 minutes of. I gotta cut out 30 minutes of you
You just
talking
need to
about the
record
you
more
know
Battlefront
who's.
2,
I'd be
and-
surprised. I told you that I wasn't gonna be anti-Semitic over chat, and I did a pretty good job at not being.
You did an
anti-Semitic.
okay
It's so
job.
hard, dude.
You did
Because
an
I'm
okay
not
job.
hard.
I'm not actually anti-Semitic. It's just anytime you bring up Israel,
It's okay. You don't have to. You
Yeah,
don't.
nobody-
It's okay. You don't have to.
Nobody
Look,
actually
I
is
didn't.
anti-Semitic.
He
even the
did
people
this.
who
It's
claim
not.
they
It's not
are.
your fault.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
He's
cool.
responsible.
No,
for this.
nobody fucking is just like, oh, I hate every Jew that's ever lived. I'm just like, yeah, Israel can suck my fucking fatty. That's it.